Live it, breathe it, love it. All sports, double coverage.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce, and we hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sports. Saucy, how you been?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Back for another week. Big pod coming up. Obviously, we've got AFL back on the agenda. Season 2021. The fans are back at the footy. Everything's back to normal down under. So we can, the fans can get down there and give a couple of boos, give a couple of what the F are you doing, umpires. And it's going to be good stuff. It's going to be good stuff. Let me just tell you, I'll be sitting there on Saturday and watching all the games back to back to back.
It's going to be awesome, and it all starts obviously tomorrow night, but we will get into that. We've had EPL this week. We also had some Champions League games, NBA, of course, post All-Star break, and of course, a couple of our boys putting on a clinic. And then obviously UFC, we had a decent card that passed. Obviously a few UFC announcements, hobby talk, Sauceys Smokey, and hopefully Saucy makes up for his poor performance in the Le Mans of the Week from last week, where he gave Ronaldo the Le Mans of the Week.
Well deserved. He lost his team there. He lost his team to Ty Doma.
Yeah, it was a disgrace. None of that shit ever again. But anyway, let's get into where we like starting every week. The NBA standings, of course. Philly still first, Brooklyn a second, Milwaukee third. We're going to talk about this team in a moment, Sauce. The Miami Heat are fourth, Charlotte are fifth, Boston sixth, Atlanta seventh, New York eighth. They've been playing really well. They were unlucky against Brooklyn yesterday or the day before. Chicago 9th, Indiana are full from grace in 10th, Toronto 11th, Washington 12th, Cleveland 13th, Orlando 14th, Detroit 15th, and over in the West, Utah 1st, Phoenix 2nd, your boys are 3rd, the Lakers, 4th are the Clippers, 5th are Denver, 6th are Portland, 7th are San Antonio, 8th are Dallas, 9th are Memphis, 9th are Golden State, 10th are Memphis, 11th are New Orleans, Oklahoma are 12th, Sacramento 13th, Houston 14th, and the Timberwolves only one game behind Detroit for being the worst team in the league. So that's what we've got there, Sauce. Embiid, obviously, let's move into some news. Embiid hurt, hyperextension. I think everyone was holding their breath.
Yeah, most definitely, Dom.
To get this result. Because as we said last week, we thought that this is going to be the team to, if anyone's going to stop Brooklyn in the East, it's going to be them. And when we saw Embiid get hurt, you don't want guys to have a free run, through their conference. You want a bit of a challenge. So you want the Bucks fully fit. You want Philly fully fit. You want to win a title and hopefully try and beat teams at full strength. So he's all good. You know a bit more about this injury. Give us an update in terms of what happened and
so anyone who didn't see it, he went up, he dunked the ball and just landed awkwardly, and we've seen this before many a time with a knee bends back, sort of hyperextension of the knee, and that's a bad sign because that sometimes can potentially be MCL or ACL damage. Lucky enough, scans cleared him, no damage, obviously just bruising in the knee, which is, the best possible result that can come out of that, because, if it's MCL, that's 6 to 8 weeks. If it's ACL, well, that's 12 months, you're out. So, best possible result, they reckon he's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks, and, not for anything, that's the best you can hope for. I mean, you don't want any player to get injured, especially your best player on your team and MVP candidate, if you ask me, the way he was leading his team to the first seed in the East. But thankfully enough, he is good. Not majorly injured, and he will be back. On a side note, we'll see how maybe if that did affect his card prices. I don't know. I haven't looked at them, but that's something that we have seen previously where guys get injured. Maybe people forget about him because he's not playing for, a few weeks. And if his cards do dip, what better opportunity than to pick him up, because if he comes back and is ready to go for the playoffs, the guy was averaging 38 points or something, 35 points. So he's absolutely dominating, Thomas. So, yeah, look, good news for Philly fans. Good news for us here at Double Coverage because we obviously we got a bit of a soft spot for Philly with our boy Ben Simmons being on the team, and yeah, I mean, I genuinely think I just want to see Joel Embiid have a good run at it because I just think this year they've got a better dynamic on that team. There's a better dynamic. They've got more shooters around. They've been able to space the floor better, and I just think they're a better team this season. They are, and they are
They are
playing that
much
way.
better.
You know, first in the
Mate,
East.
I don't know if this is like an awesome result for Philly or an indictment on the Chicago Bulls basketball franchise, but they had no Simmons and Embiid playing during the week, and they beat him by over 20. So
I
I know
spoke
that's an
about that, Dom,
indictment.
didn't I? I mentioned it to you. I'm like,
That is a disgrace.
how do
You
you
did.
get beaten by 20 plus points when they don't have their two best players? Like,
It's a shame.
that's
That's
just
bad.
astounding.
That's
And like,
bad.
you had to look at Chicago.
Absolutely
Who did they
bad.
have out?
No one. They had their whole team.
Pretty much had the whole team.
Sad, man. That shit's terrible. A bit of other news, obviously, LaMarcus Aldridge throughout the week. Yeah, it looks like he's going to get bought out. He's on the move somewhere. He's being linked to every club under the sun. I think the joke now is that every player's linked
He's
with
going to the
Brooklyn.
Nets.
So
He's going to the Nets.
yeah,
Drummond's going to the Nets. Who else is a free agent? PJ Tucker's a free agent. He's going to the Nets. Everyone's going to the Nets.
yeah, it's true. Bloody hell. And the Nets, they're on fire at the moment. They're signing everyone.
I mean, they could do with
Zion,
PJ Tucker because at least he plays decent defense. They are 26 rated in the league, Doma. Still.
yeah, it's okay. Anyway, just what's Philly?
That's a very good point. Let me get it up for you, brother.
I want you to get Philly in their offense and defensive rating. That's what I'm interested to know. Because it'd be a very nice matchup. That's all I'm going to say. When they verse each other in the Eastern Conference Finals. Everyone keeps saying, oh, that's if they get there and they play each other. Just stop.
Here we go.
But the only thing derailing Philly is what happened to them last year, is injuries. They should have won the title the season before. Like, come on. People have lost their marbles. Philly are no good.
What am I looking for here? All right, so
Anyway,
defensive
I'll
rating. There's as a team is 108.4, which is league second. They are second in the league in defensive rating.
Wow. And offensive
rating, they're 12th in the league.
Wow. Okay. Whoa, that's interesting. Anyone listening to that? Anyway, fuck. It's better than our first and 26th or whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah, they're first and 26. That's
Pretty good. That's pretty good. You know, they've got a top 5 defense. Oh, well, they've got a top 2 defense and a top 15 offense, almost top 10 offense.
Yeah.
So that's all right. Anyway, we'll see what happens there. Zion, your boy, has been dominating. He killed it again today. He killed it, but I want to talk about D. Lil, Dame Dollar. He had 50 today, dropped it on them. He shooting absolute bombs. I don't know what else there is to say, bro. Like, he's just one of those guys. Sometimes he just doesn't get the respect. Damian Lillard, he really doesn't. Like, do people forget who he is because the franchise that he plays in, the market that he's in? I thought Portland's a pretty good team. He'll do the same thing as he did in the playoff last year. Put on a clinic. He'll dominate.
Not only did he have 10 assists, Doma, not only did he shoot 6 of 13 from the 3-point line, but he shot 18 of 18 from the 3-throw line. Didn't miss a free throw.
That's it. No comment on him. He's just a gun. And then a few others. SGA has been balling, absolutely balling. Source keeps telling people he's severely underrated. People don't want to give him credit where credit's due. That is fine. We'll keep buying his cards. We'll gladly keep buying them. And then when he's an absolute gun, and like I said, I'm on him now. Like I said it about a month ago when we did a comparison between Morant and SGA and almost blew. Well, when we interviewed Sam Conrad. I almost blew Saucy off his bloody seat when I said that. He was just like, "What are you talking about? Morant's your boy." I said, "Yeah, he's my boy, but SGA is better than him." Like,
I mean, just look. I'm not saying like he's one of the guys that in terms of cards you should be picking up and looking to the future. Have a look at that franchise and how they've positioned themselves with all the draft picks they have stacked up. With all the draft
I
picks
know
they've stacked up and all the young guys that they're playing, and what Doma, where
they
are
can
they
build.
sitting in the rankings? What they're sitting not that far out of the. Well, they're sitting in the playoff spot.
Let me reopen that. I closed that. I shouldn't have. I think they're 12th in the West, and I'll tell you how many games out they are if it loads. They're 12th in the West, and they are. Where are they? 12 and a half. They are 4 games from the 8th seed.
Right?
Oh, well, they got the playoff.
Well, yeah,
they?
then you get the playoff, so you just got to get in the top 10.
Well, 10. So they're 2.5 games behind.
Thank you very much, right? So he's a guy who's literally, he lost the best player on his team, CP3, right?
Yeah.
And he's come out and just gone bang in terms of being able to lead his ball club. Now, let's just go have a look at his stats. The man is averaging 23.6 points. That's another 4.6 points on top of last year. He's now averaging double the amount of assists what he was averaging last year. And he's shooting 41% from 3 on 5 attempts a game, Doma.
That's pretty good.
So he's just gotten better. He's in his 3rd season. He's 22 years old. Right?
It's unbelievable.
And I'll tell people, this is the reason why I was so big on SGA. When they did that trade where PG went to Clippers, the Clippers organization did not want to trade SGA. They did not.
No,
right?
they didn't. It's
and
true.
The fact that you've got and OKC, well, if you want him, we want SGA. That you ain't getting PG unless he was still under contract, PG at that time. So the fact that you've got 2 organizations like that who truly believe that he's going to be a special player, that clicked to me, and that's where I was like, when you've got 2 organizations that really want you, and you're 20 years old, they must believe in you.
Good.
You must be special. You know what I mean?
It's always pretty good when you got one team wanting you and one team not wanting to get rid of you. So that's honestly the best thing you can ever want as a player. And he's come on leaps and bounds. And as you said, Sauce, I completely agree with you. That Chris Paul experiment with him was probably the best thing that's happened to him in his career.
Exactly.
Or the best thing that's going to happen to him in his career in terms of growth.
Think about
leadership.
Exactly. Because CP3, as I've said this many times, one of the greatest leaders on a basketball court.
He's now got the foundations, SGA, to be a leader and the guy in the team. And he's also got the fundamentals now to be like a Curry and a Wade, that if they get a gun down the track, like a superstar, he will know, I'll step aside, put aside my ego. I know what it takes to win a title. A la LeBron James, or LeBron really didn't do it. More like Dwayne Wade and
like Bosh and
Steph Curry, Bosh. Those guys. Take a step aside, like, all right, I'll play second fiddle to this guy. If that means we're going to win a title, I'll do what's best for the team. I reckon it was a great experiment for him. Speaking about great experiments, we saw it come on in the bubble, all right? And I've sat here for, what are we in? 40 games into the season, so over half the season, yeah? You've mentioned it a few times. I said it once, but I've kept my mouth shut. All I've kept saying every week in the standings is my team's climbing. My team's climbing. That's all I've said. That's all I keep saying.
I'll sit on this side of the fence, Dom, and say I never doubted you. I always had faith.
No, I know you didn't. You never have. You said it on here. You've said it to me off air too. You said, I don't know why everyone's giving this team shit. I'll give you the stat that we were 6-12 without Butler. We had injuries. Half our team was in COVID protocol. Everyone was saying, it's a finals hangover. They're struggling. Of course we're struggling. We've got no team. You got to remember, guys like Hero and stuff play off through the system of the whole team being healthy. Yeah, I understand we lost Jay Crowder. That was a loss, like defensively and whatnot. But since we've had Buckets come back, we are 15-6, and we've been the second best. Like, I know Philly's the second best defense in the league, but we've been the second best since he's returned. If that makes sense. They've been second best for the whole season. We've been the second best defense in the league since Butler came back from injury. And we've gone from outside the 8, like 13th or 12th, to the fourth seed in the East.
Mate, look.
Said it time and time again.
You don't have to tell me. You're preaching to the choir here.
System, defense. And you know what the difference is with Miami? They play defense throughout the season, and then they ramp up the defense during playoffs. So they get even harder to beat. Jimmy Butler's playing some of the best basketball I've ever seen him play. So much more efficient. He's worked out his game. He knows his role, what he has to do. He's been averaging 23 this season, but he's not the type of guy that has to go out there and average 34 points a game and jack up 1,000,000 shots. Like, he tries to get his guys into the game. Tyler Herro's starting to play pretty good.
All I'm going to sit here, Dom, and I've gone, you know what, I'm going to look up where they're sitting defensively. Even with all your troubles that you had at the start of the season, now we're 40 games in, the Miami Heat are the third ranked defense in the league.
I know. We potentially could finish on top of Milwaukee. And props to Milwaukee, by the way. I'll just give a mad shout out to Giannis, who's been absolutely balling.
Like, honestly, Giannis is playing just as good as he did last year, where he won the MVP, and you could nearly make an argument for him winning the MVP again. But I don't know if he does. They're going to spread it around.
They do the spread around thing. It's a media award now. LeBron should have had like 6 in a row. So,
hey, on that note, my boy LeBron triple-double today. We slapped the Timberwolves.
Wow, you
slapped the Timberwolves. As we should. I mean, Montrezl Harrell, 25 points off the bench. Look, I'm not the only one that thinks this. Montrezl Harrell is better than a bench player. He should be starting. He should be starting. And I hope we can secure Drummond, because I mean, if we secure Drummond, obviously Marc Gasol's been given the push out the door. I thought it was going to work. I was excited, especially with his passing ability at the start of the season. But after watching games with him, father time has really come quick for Marc Gasol. His inability to move his feet on the perimeter was becoming an issue. They were able to get into the paint, which was our strength last year, which was, making it very, very difficult for teams in the paint, forcing them to be outside shooting teams. And let's be honest, there's only one outside shooting team that will ever beat you, and that's two guys by the name of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Other than that, there's no other guy or no other team that can have that consistent outside shooting, because I don't care what you say, there's just no one is as good of shooters from three-point land as those two on a consistent basis. Even though Dame Lillard was good in that series, he didn't have enough support from his other guys, and when we started double-teaming him straight when he got over half court, forced the ball out of his hands, we made the other guys try beat us. It was pretty funny, hearing everyone think that Portland was going to take us out in the first round, and then we ended up beating them 4-1.
No one was beating the Lakers last year. Like, who are we kidding? The Clippers were the only team, and then they choked. So it was over the moment that happened. So, but it's been awesome since the break. Obviously, a few injuries, key injuries to players. Hopefully, they come back healthy. And this second half, we're on the push straight through to the playoffs now, and it's going to be very exciting times ahead. So let's close this up with, obviously, our season league leaders. Bill still there in the points, 32.3. Lillard, 30.5. And Embiid, 29.9. Chef Curry, 29.3. Giannis up to 29. Capella, 14.3. Gobert, 13.5. Valanciunas, 11.9. Giannis, 11.7 boards. Cantor, 11.6. Assists, Harden, 11.1. Westbrook, 10.1. Trae Young, 9.4. Luka the Don, 9.3. Chris Paul, 8.8. The blocks, Turner still on top, 3.4. Gobert, 2.9. Clint Capella, 2.3. Noel, 2. Boucher, 1.9. So that's what we got there for the NBA till next week.
One quick note before we move on from NBA, and that's quick note is Quick mention, Atlanta Hawks, since they've fired their coach, they've actually been on fire. I believe they've won 7 games in a row since they fired their coach. I mean, I don't know, was it all the coach's fault? Who knows? I mean, some of the teams that they beat here have been pretty underwhelming teams, but nonetheless, winning 7 in a row, wins a win, and hey, they are now sitting, 7th in the standings in the East, and potential to get in the playoffs. And I mean, that's what Trae Young needs for his cards. That's what Trae Young. That's what everyone predicted at the start of the season. I mean, our boy G down at Cherry Collectibles, Grayson, did predict that he was going to win the MVP, which was probably one of the most outrageous things I ever heard in my whole entire life. Grayson, I have no idea what the hell you were thinking, but he might make the playoffs.
Mad props to G, but yeah, Sauce making a point. All right, let's move on. AFL back on the card, Sauce. I'm super excited. This starts all tomorrow night, 7:25 p.m. We've got the Tigers versus the Blues as the annual curtain raiser for the season, as we usually do. This is exciting, mate. Really exciting. Before we do get into our tips, which of course we do have a footy tipping competition if you're keen to join, just head to our link tree, click on the top tab, sign up, and then when you go to join a competition, use the special code DBLcoverage_. So our Instagram name is the entry into the league.
Yeah, Instagram handle is the password into the league. If you click on the link, it should really fill it out automatically. It should fill it out for you. So if it doesn't, then that's the password, our Instagram handle.
We are keen for as many people to join as we've said. It's for free. It doesn't matter if you're from Australia, you're overseas in the United States or Canada or anywhere else that people follow us from. Have a crack. It's for fun. And as we know, people living here in Australia, and it is our sport, but as we know, Sauce, it's always the people that don't know much about the game that always win the footy tipping. So that's been a very, very consistent thing. So I think jump in, obviously free prizes, like at the end of the season. Why wouldn't you? Have we got anyone in here? Let's have a look.
I'm trying to figure it out. How I find out who.
Anyway, competitions. Here we are. I don't think we've got anyone in. It's me versus you, Sauce. That'd be good.
Now we got a few in there, showing 11 members, mate.
Oh, bang! Good start. All right. We're not going to do a preview of all the teams, all right, Sauce?
We definitely got to fix up the thumbnail. Yeah, in this
logo. Yeah, I know. I was meant to do that. Apologies. But a few things have changed before we get into the games for this week. New rules, total 75 interchanges per game. Hopefully, that could improve goal scoring, as they're saying. Less interchanges means you're going to have to rest guys up forward. People aren't going to be able to run around as much, so maybe it becomes more positional, like it was in the old style of footy. Standing on the mark rule, you cannot move side to side. You just got to go up and down. If you move, it's a 50-metre penalty, and the kick-in marks are 15 metres from the kicker, and it's the exact same rules applied as the standing on the mark. All right. Let's go and preview these games that they saw, and we'll give our tips live on the pod. Richmond versus Carlton, game 1. I know where we're both going here, so I'm tipping Richmond for you, Sauce. On Friday, we've got the Pies versus the Dogs. I'll probably tip this one for you too. The fact that Collingwood is 2.10 and the Dogs are $1.77 is a disgrace. Collingwood should probably have Carlton's bloody odds at $3.70 because they are putrid and they will be no good this year.
Big call. Missing the top 8, you reckon?
Yeah, they're not making the 8. They're going to be nowhere near it.
I'm going to go with the Dogs, man. That midfield. I mean, we've seen this the grab on the midfield. Look, I'm not going to predict anything too early, but hey, I said last year leading into the finals that the Dogs were on a bit of a run. They've gotten better. And they've put more games into the young guys last year. A lot of experience put into those guys. And, not for anything, they've got guys there who have premiership experience. So they know what it takes. So I'm going to go with the doggies with you on that point.
Nice. Melbourne versus Fremantle at the
Now,
G.
although I think both these teams are pretty average, just because it is in Melbourne, I'm going to go with Melbourne.
I'm picking
Oh,
Fremantle.
bang! He's gone with his boy Nate Fife.
Yeah, he's my boy. I should just go for Fremantle. Next, we've got Adelaide versus the Cats at Adelaide Oval. I think this one is a no-brainer.
Oh, this is Geelong every day of the week. Adelaide were
Geelong
trash
every
last year,
day.
and I can't see him being much
Now
better this year.
there we go. The next game is a ripper. 7:25 on Saturday. The Toilet Bowl. Essendon versus the Hawthorn Hawks. This could be horrendous. Both teams are
I'm
shit.
just look. You know what? Dom.
I'm tipping Hawks.
I'm a realist. It's going to be an interesting season for Essendon. We are not going to make the 8. If you're an Essendon fan out there and you genuinely think we're going to make the 8, you are delusional. But I'm just going to pick my boys. Just first game.
Very
First game.
nice.
I'm going to go with them.
Yeah, Lions versus Swans. I think this one's it's at the Gabba. This is a pretty straightforward one. Lions very young now. They've got 3 debutants this week coming into the side in Goulden, Campbell, and McDonald. I think so, which would be good for those young kids to get a run. But I'm tipping the Lions.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Lions too.
Sure. Now, the biggest game of the round, Sunday, 1:10 p.m. at Marvel Stadium, North Melbourne versus Port Adelaide. I'm not going to wear my heart on my chest here and go with my side and if you want me,
are
to
you
give
finishing bottom 4, Doma? Is that your honest prediction?
Yeah.
What were your passionate cousins who are diehard North Melbourne say about that?
I think they've come around.
Oh, they have come around? Because last time when you told them last year that you were going to be trash, they didn't want a bar of it. They actually got upset at you.
Yeah, well, you know what? As I say the same, I'm a realist, mate. What do you want? We were no good last year, and we're no good.
Oh,
this
you got
year.
rid of your best freaking forward as well.
Yeah, that's good that we did. He's not playing for the first 6 weeks either for Melbourne. So, you still want to tip Melbourne? So also, I'm just going to tell you, they've got no forwards. Wiedemann's not playing. Brown's not playing. You still want to tip Melbourne? They are going to be terrible this year.
Well, you do know that their best... their best player is Fife. But their second best player is injured. He's done a hammy. Michael Walters.
Yeah, so?
I mean, I'm just saying he kicked 35 goals last season or something.
They'll find someone. They've got no Rory Lobb either, so Gorn's going to have a field day. Next, we've got GWS versus St Kilda. This is an interesting game. This is at Giant Stadium. Obviously, St Kilda are the underdogs going into this as they are travelling. But I think the Saints are going to be very good this year.
Did we skip a game here? Or are you on to that one next?
No. North and Port. You would have tipped Port.
I tipped Port, yep.
Yeah, I tip Port. Yeah, GWS and St Kilda. I'm actually going to go and tip St Kilda.
You know what, Doma? GWS lost Jeremy Cameron out of there. I mean, I just don't believe in them anymore. Like, where is this? Just a quick note here. Where is this football club going? What is a pass mark for Greater Western Sydney this season? With all the talent that they have. They were. People remember they were gifted talent by the AFL. The AFL said here are all the picks. Here are pretty much the best. They pretty much got the best 10 players over 3 years in the whole country to their team. Young players, I'm talking about.
Do you genuinely want me to tell you what I want to see from them this year?
Well, what's a pass mark?
Making the 8 for them is a pass mark. Getting to the finals. But genuinely, all I care about, because they're going to do nothing. They got no Whitfield. He's got, liver problems. Like, they lost Cameron. They lost the defender went to North, Aiden Core.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of players. They lost Zach Williams to Carlton.
Yep.
So they've lost some guys, mate. Heathshaw retired. They've lost a lot of players, a lot of players.
That just right there is maybe say St Kilda's going to win this game.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, GWS fans, I know you don't care because you're in Sydney and there's not many people that follow GWS, but keep doing what you're doing. That's my advice. Keep doing what you're doing. You've got I know a lot of teams have got academy teams now, but GWS has got one of the best academies to draft from in the league. Keep doing what you're doing because you are just a academy farm for the rest of these Victorian clubs, mate. We just want to thank you sincerely from the bottom of our heart because you're making us better because you're taking all our picks because of your academy with your points, and then we're just taking you all back, mate. After 5 years working out that you're an absolute rebel of a football club, so that's okay. We'll take.
Bang!
Thank
We
you
can
very
give.
much.
Do you reckon we can give the arrow? Boom! He's got
Nah,
the.
fuck. I'm not giving that.
Oh.
Fucking Caro Zero.
Oh, don't bring that name up on this podcast. We're just saying we're giving
No,
the
we're
arrow.
not. No, no.
I'm not labeling it that. She can go stick it up the wazoo, mate. That lady's got no idea what she's talking about when it comes to
Forget
AFL.
about, mate. If you want to talk AFL, you come listen to double coverage, mate. Don't worry about everyone else, mate. Free of charge as well. We give our information.
West Coast, Gold Coast. Did you skim over that game?
No, that's the last game. West Coast, Gold Coast is the last game. That is a West Coast Eagles win.
Eagles.
Which they may struggle to this year. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
Thinking about it, I've actually thought about it. I thought they're loaded. They're so loaded. Like, by the way, Alex Witherden is one of the steals in the pickup in the off season. How the hell they picked up Alex Witherden and fit him in that team is beyond me. But a few guys injured. Elliot Yeo, osteitis pubis. He's probably not going to play for a lot of the year. As we've seen, Josh Kennedy has struggled for seasons now, multiple seasons. I don't know. McGovern's always hurt. Shuey's always hurt. I don't know. Nat Nui, he has to stay healthy. Cully, I'm expecting probably to have a pretty big year. Tim Cully, second year in the system. But we'll see what happens with them, and we'll work it out. Now, Sauce, talk to me about some of your picks this year. Come on, for the 8. Where are you going? Who do you reckon?
All right, so we're going to look. Obviously, we're going Richmond, Geelong, locks, right? Richmond, Geelong, locks. I'm gonna throw the Saners in there. I reckon the Saners can make the 8. I'm confident that the Saners can make the 8.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Cool.
I'm gonna throw Brisbane in there because they've made the 8. They've done very well the last 2 seasons. So what's to say that? I mean, I do know that they've lost a few players, but you know they've been able to produce guys the last 2 years and have young guys come up and fill those roles. So I've got faith in the coaching and what's being built there in that system. And, you know, not for anything, they believe in themselves now. So I think, you know, that's a big factor. So we're going to go, that's probably my 4 teams that I think are going to definitely make the 8. Now, from there, this is where it gets difficult. I'm going to throw the doggies in there.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the other one I think have got a lot of potential. I reckon it's open slather after that.
Yeah, I'm going to throw the doggies in there. And then from that point on...
Port
Adelaide, yeah. Well, hang on. From that point on, I'm going to go Port... Hey, look. Although Port did so well last season, that's a flash in the pan. That's a flash in the pan, Doma.
That's true.
Right?
True.
What were they doing the seasons before that? They've been trash.
Fair call.
Right?
We thought they were going to be good.
Exactly. Yeah. We thought they were going to be good previously, and they were underwhelming. So, you know, I'm not jumping... That's why I was confident to put Brisbane in there, because this showed me 2 seasons in a row that they can match it with the best of them.
Yeah.
When they have the kicking boots on, they can win any game of football.
It's true. 100%.
Right? So, that's why I was happy to put Brisbane in there. Now, Port Adelaide, different story, but I'm going to throw them in there. So, that will look... Well, I've got 6 there. Right? I've got 6. Those last 2 spots, let me tell you, it is a raffle. There's going to be a team that's going to pop out of the blue. I don't know. Probably go the Coasters. I'm thinking the Coasters. And then to round out my 8, I don't even know. This is the toughest one. I mean, maybe the Pies. I don't look Carlton. These are the teams that I don't see getting it. Obviously, I don't think GWS is going to make the 8. I don't think Gold Coast is going to make the 8. Freaking Essendon, Adelaide.
So you're telling me North has a chance?
Not North, yeah. North, definitely not North. Definitely not North. I was going through the teams. I'm going through the teams here, Dollars. Just hang on a second, right? So I think that 8th spot for me would probably be out of Pies, a I don't know much about Fremantle. I don't
Dead
believe in them.
Heats.
Um, man, it's tough. Sydney, I don't think so. I don't know. We don't know. It's tough to round out that last two spots. I mean, that last two spots is tough. I mean, people are probably going to think I'm nuts for putting the Saints in there, but I just think they grew last year. They grew a lot as a football club.
I reckon they did as
And
well.
I think they're on the up. They are genuinely on the up. They got some pickups. I mean, let's hope Hanbury can actually stay on the park this year. And yeah, they can build on that. But yeah, look, I don't know that 8th spot. I don't know.
Who knows?
Put the teams in a hat and draw it out of it. That'd
Yeah.
be just as good a guess as mine. Let's be honest.
Easy.
One thing to note though, we do both. I think both of you and I come to the assumption that we genuinely think that Melbourne are going to be trash this year. And the bookmakers have got them the line on season wins at 10.5. Now I think this could be. We might even put this down. Jot it down. Under 10.5 wins for the season on the bookies. That's my season. This is my season bet. My one season bet that I'm giving under 10.5 wins for Melbourne Football Club, and that's paying $1.95. So do with it what you will. Maybe throw it in a multi if you can into Richmond to win the premiership, and that will probably get you a juicy freaking $7 to $8.
Yeah,
and
100%.
chuck something on that.
Did you want my 8 sauce?
Yeah, go on. Give us your 8. What do you got?
Yeah, you actually want my 8. I've done a lot.
Have you got an 8? You didn't tell me you had an 8, so you've done one now, have you?
I've done one, and I put a lot of hard work into this.
Oh, here we go. You didn't tell me this.
I went through stats. Literally, most points kicked. I looked at it as if it was the NBA this year, sauce. Literally, looked through everything, all the factors that you can think of. Yeah, and I came down with the 8, and it goes Richmond, and that's it.
But that's one team, Doma.
It's Richmond. That's it.
So what are you saying? It just this season.
I'm calling it again, Sauce. Now I'm saying it pre-season, not in the bubble this time, because you started the pod in the bubble. This time I'm calling it before the season's even been bounced. The first ball's been bounced. The Tigers are winning it. It's over. Cancel the season again. I'm saying it right now. Cancel the season again, mate. I'm serious.
Back to back. He's calling it three-peat.
There is no team in the AFL that can beat this football club. Take the glasses off, mate. Stop being such a open your blinders, mate. Everyone's still looking like, oh yeah, Cats have got the chance. Yep, Port's got the chance. Just shut up. Just stop. They're the best team. All I keep saying to you, in and out, I said it on the pod 1,000 times. All they need to do, first of all, is get to the finals. All right? That's all they have to do. Second of all,
finish top 2, which they'll do.
Yeah. Second of all, the moment that they win a preliminary final and the grand final reads so-and-so versus Richmond, it's over. Once their name's in there, it's over.
And people will say, Doma, but they get to play on their home ground, the MCG. Well, not last year. They played on the Gabba and they still won.
Oh, and sorry, I also forgot as well, Sauce, that last year as well, there was 2 Victorian teams in the grand final that played interstate. I forgot that too. So just shut your mouth.
All you interstate teams that just complain about having to travel to Melbourne for the grand final, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up.
To be looked after because the sport was created in Victoria. Blah, 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 blah. Just shut up, mate. Richmond's win the flag. I know I'm being obnoxious, but I have every right to because I called it last year and I was right on the money. All right, I was right on the money.
We're gonna cut this. We're cutting this. Yeah, this is going on the. This is that 30 seconds is going on. That's going on officially on the Instagram page this week.
Here's the second tip for him. I haven't finished yet. Dustin Martin is going to win the Brownlow medal this year. That's the second tip. All right.
Oh, I can't.
The third tip, which Sauce alluded me to, and I agree with him. People say, "Oh yeah, but." They'd be burnt out now. They've got nothing to play for. They got everything to play for this season. They win this season, they potentially go down as the greatest team in the modern era of football, mate. The greatest team. And if Dustin Martin wins the Brownlow, wins a premiership, and wins a Norm Smith medal, and he goes 4 Norm Smith medals from 4 grand finals, mate, this guy is going to go down in history potentially as top 2, top 3 ever to play the sport, ever. He gets into LeBron James status, touching the likes of the Michael Jordans, which are Gary Ablett Sr. and LeBron James, Gary Ablett Sr. and Wayne Carey in our sport. He's there. He's touching, mate. He's scratching at the door. He's scratching. He's there. If he does it this year, if he does what I just said, it's over. It potentially could make an argument. That's all I'm going to say. People need to start looking at this realistically. I know I can't stand Richmond supporters and teams that are
I think that's pretty much every other supporter base now that they've been winning so much. They're on their high horse. But fair enough, because they were down in the dumps for years on years on years. When you're winning, you got to be up and about. And the Richmond faithful, they deserve to be up and about.
You deserve to, all right? You deserve to.
Because you have teams giving you every right to be.
100%. I can't stand you for the life of me. And for the life of this podcast, we cannot stand you as supporters. We'd gladly have you listen to our podcast so you can hear me tell you that you're going to win a flag again. But I can't stand your crap. Anyway, every week, we're not good enough. Just shut up. Come on, you're winning the flag. It's over. It's done. I've called it. That's my top 8. Sauce gave his top 8.
Oh, that's great.
St Kilda, Brisbane, Western Bulldogs, Port Adelaide, West Coast, and a raffle up for 8. And my top 8 is Richmond. That is it.
we'll chat that in the post. Top 8.
End of segment. Let's move on to the EPL. Let's get to the results from the last week. Newcastle versus Villa 1-1. Leeds versus Chelsea 0-0. Palace versus West Brom 1-0 to Palace. Everton lost to Burnley 2-1. Fulham destroyed by City 3-0. Southampton versus Brighton, a 2-1 win for Brighton there. Then we had Leicester smack Sheffield 5-0. Arsenal beat Tottenham 2-1, which was fantastic for your boy Saucy. We beat West Ham off an own goal 1-0, which we'll take. And the Wolves lost to Liverpool 1-0. So, interesting stuff there. We're not going to... we're just running through the motions.
We're running through the motions now with EPL because this, as we've spoken about it before, it's tied up. Just look no further. Go through, read the obviously the Champions League scores, and then I'll make a bit of a.
I will. I'll just give you the matches for the Premier League for next week. There's only 4. Fulham versus Leeds. Oh, whoops, is this one? No, it's not. Fulham versus Leeds. Brighton versus Newcastle. West Ham versus Arsenal. Villa versus Spurs. So they're the only games for the EPL. And then obviously, do you want me to give the table, or are you going to go through the table?
We're not going to go through the table because Manchester City's on 71 points, which is 16 points more than the closest, which is second Man United, and then we'll drop all the way down to the bottom where we've actually, this is probably where we should be focusing more of our time, which is the relegation battle. Fulham, only 2 points behind Newcastle. Newcastle on 28 points. Fulham on 26 points. West Brom, Sheffield, good night. You guys are gone.
But I'm just looking at this. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams in this. Southampton's not out of reach on 33 points. It's only 7 points. 3.5 games. They've been struggling of late, absolutely struggling. So, but the real one is it's Newcastle, Brighton, and Fulham. Really, that's the one fighting for
and
that
maybe
last.
Burnley,
Maybe Burnley.
But Burnley's been able to edge out some results in their last few. So they were able to get a draw against Arsenal, a draw against Leicester, and then they were able to get the chocolates against Everton, which was unbelievable. Great win there.
That's it. All right, let's get to these Champions League scores. Obviously, the Thursday results from last week, we'll bring them to you now. Liverpool beat Leipzig 2-0, 4-0 on aggregate. PSG drew with Barca 1-1, but beat them 5-2 on aggregate. And then this week, Man City beat Borussia Mönchengladbach 2-0, 4-0 on aggregate. Real Madrid beat Atalanta 3-1, 4-1 on aggregate. And the games tomorrow are Bayern Munich versus Lazio and Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid, which we'll cover on next week's podcast.
What's the aggregate scores currently on those?
That is a good point. 2 seconds. 1-0 aggregate for Chelsea
Yep.
over Atletico, which is an away goal.
Yep.
And then Bayern Munich is 4-1 up.
And those games are on tomorrow, is it?
Yes. And the Bayern Munich 4-1 is an away score. So they got 4 away goals. So that I might as well just put a big X through that game.
Yeah,
but that
Bayern
that Chelsea Atletico one.
That's going to be a good game. I might even watch that tomorrow, I reckon.
So
just a quick note. Obviously, you read the score out. Man City 2-0 this morning against Mönchengladbach. That was 4-0 on aggregate. And I'll just say, like, this is the mentality currently with Man City, right? They come out there, they're 2 goals up. I mean, it's only 2 goals. Mönchengladbach still probably in the tie at 2 goals. They come out 18 minutes into the game. It's 4-0 on aggregate. Good night. They literally come out. This is the mentality of this team at the moment, Doma. They come out and they go, you know what? We're going to put this to bed in the first 20 minutes, and they did. They kicked 2 goals, and it was 4-0, and they just cruised to the finish line. They just cruised.
That's how good they are at the moment. It's unbelievable.
They cruised to the finish line. They had 67% of possession, a pass success of 92% on that game.
I can't believe it. They're just so good. Like, and you know the scary thing, Sauce? You know the scary thing? The fact that this team is going to win Lionel Messi an EPL title next year. He's going to a team to do absolutely fucking nothing. He's not making them better at all. He's going to the best team and they're going to win.
Oh, there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee he's going to go there yet.
Or he goes to PSG and he just wins because there's no other team in the competition.
He could kick 50 goals in League One next year if he goes there. He honestly could kick 50 goals in the season.
He actually could. I'm not saying he could stay. You could stay.
He's not staying. Never know. He's not staying.
You never know. Their team's actually pretty good. They've got some young kids in there that are.
Yeah, but let's be honest. He wants to win more titles, and that's not going to happen at Barcelona right now.
Yeah,
they're in a development stage. They're moving on to the next. They're trying to find their next, star that's going to,
Haaland?
see them. And that's what I mean. I think it's.
Would he stay if he gets Haaland?
I don't think so. I still don't think so. I honestly think he wants to team up with Pep. I think he was, and it's going to be a very, very interesting off season. Like I'm excited. I'm excited for it. Obviously, he's going to have to play for Argentina first in the Copa America, and then you've got the Euros coming up.
World Cup next year too. Oh, it's going to be so good. Oh, I can't wait for that.
All right, moving on, Doma.
Moving on to UFC, Sauce. Give us a wrap up.
So UFC, I'll just give you as a wrap up. Look, I'm just going to put it out there. Only watched the main fight. Didn't tune into some of the other stuff. Was a bit busy and haven't had a chance to go back and watch it. So we'll just run through the main card as I usually do. You had in the middleweight division, you had Eric Anders versus Darren Stewart. A no contest, obviously an issue there in the first round. Flyweight division, you had.
Was it a knee? I think. Sauce, the guy, he had him on the. Actually, I saw a highlight of this. He had him on the knee. And literally in the spur of the thing of him just going hammer and tong on him, he's thrown a knee when he's on his knees, similar to the week before. I think he got DQ'd. I think he threw a knee because he apologised to the fighter for the illegal move. I'm pretty sure. Like, you correct me if I'm wrong.
I can't speak.
But I think he accidentally threw.
If we are wrong on that point, and anyone watched that fight, Eric Anders and Darren Stewart in the middleweight division, let us know. Hit us in the DMs and tell us how wrong we were, and tell
me how much of a lemon I am.
All right, in the flyweight division, you got Manel Karpe versus Matu Nikolai. Nikolai winning third round decision. Bantamweight division, you had Jonathan Martinez versus Davy Grant. Davy Grant winning with a KO in the second round. Featherweight division, you had Danny Ing versus Gavin Tucker. He won with a KO inside 22 seconds into the first round.
Yeah, I know. It was a big hit too.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. I might even watch that when we as we move on from this segment and make a little cheeky comment once I see the knockout. And then light heavyweight division, you had Ryan Spann versus Misha Kirkunov. Ryan Spann KO in the first round, minute 11 in. Might even have to go view that one because I love a quick KO in the first round. And then we had the welterweight main event, which unfortunately we had Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. And I watched this fight. I did watch. I watched a replay of it, and I was excited for this fight. I spoke about it last week, Dom. I was like, Leon Edwards has got all of it to lose. Bilal
Yeah,
Muhammad has got nothing to lose. And that's, this was an interesting spot for Leon Edwards and interesting spot for Bilal Muhammad. Unfortunately, a stray finger in the haste of the fight. So it didn't look deliberate. It looked accidental. It was deemed that way. Actually, Leon Edwards poked Bilal Muhammad in the eye, and he couldn't see. He literally could not see. He couldn't see anything.
I'll sum it up for you because I also caught this fight too. Just imagine, throwing. So he's a right-handed fighter, Edwards. Just imagine throwing your right hand, your power strike on your follow through, and following straight through, but the finger's going straight into your eye. His eye was he genuinely, it swelled up that quickly, he could not open his eye. Bilal Muhammad. Yeah. There was blood coming out,
And look, to say the least, Bilal Muhammad was distraught because he knows what a big fight and what a big opportunity this was for him. He was distraught. He was sobbing. He couldn't believe that his luck or what had happened to him. So I mean, look, tough pill to swallow for Bilal because he had everything to gain in this fight, everything to gain. And at that point in the second round, who won that first round? It wasn't really clear. It was probably on the fence after that first round. So it was anyone's fight, man. It was anyone's fight. So just tough. Just a tough night at the office for Bilal Muhammad. Now, moving on, Doma, to next week, or this week coming up, 21st. Main card starts at 1 p.m. You've got the prelim card, which I believe starts at 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, and the main card at 1 p.m. It's UFC Fight Night, Brunson versus Holland. Run through the main card. We've got women's strawweight, Cheney Buys versus Monstrat Ruiz. Then we got the welterweight division, Keenan Song versus Max Griffin. Bantamweight, Adrian Yanez versus Gustavo Lopez. And then, Doma, get ready for this. We got, in the heavyweight division, Bam Tai Tuivasa, the Australian, versus Dontal Myers. And I like watching the heavyweights. And Bam Bam had a good comeback, I think, in his last fight. I believe he won. I think I could actually check that. So he'll be looking to obviously, win in his next fight. He won his last fight against Stefan Struve, where he knocked him out in the first round. Prior to that, he'd actually lost his last two fights, so he's coming off a win. Let's hope he can get another win on the board and hopefully move up the rankings a little bit. Then the next fight in the co-main event is the lightweight division, Gregor Gillespie versus Bran Riddell. That will be an interesting fight. Both those guys have only ever lost one professional fight. So, two very, very good records. A 13-1 record against a 9-1 record in professional MMA. So, entertaining stuff there. And then middleweight division, Derek Brunson versus Kevin Holland as the main event. That should be a good fight. Very good fight, actually. You got Derek Brunson, the wily old veteran, 37-year-old, against Kevin Holland, 28-year-old. Kevin Holland's actually got quite a bit of reach on him. And I would expect potentially Kevin Holland, who's won his last 3 fights, so he's coming off 3 wins in a row. Kevin Holland. Derek Brunson's only fought once in 2020, and he won that fight. But he fought 2 times before that in 2019. He's won that fight. So both these guys in their last 3 fights have had 3 wins. So this firms up to be an absolute cracker, and I'm expecting it to be that way. So
I reckon it's be good.
Actually, a very, very good card this weekend for just a fight night and not a main card. So I rate this card. So I think it should be good. Very good viewing. Tune in this Sunday, 1 p.m. main card kicks off.
Very nice. Also, just a quick mention, we don't need to get into it too much. We'll obviously, as we did for the McGregor-Poirier fight, we'll get into it a bit closer to the date. The same with Khabib and Gaethje. But Masvidal versus Kamaru Usman 2 has been announced this week. We're looking forward to it. Sauce, you can say it because you said it to me.
Also, there's
it's news anymore.
Yeah.
You just
What's that?
it got put to
Yeah,
bed.
it got
You
put to
said
bed.
it.
It got put to bed. We call him Kamara Snoozeman, but because he's a boring fighter. But in his last fight, it wasn't a boring fight. Let me tell you. And he showed us that he's got that power to finish guys. So look, he's going that way. He's going that way. You know, sort of in that sort of Khabib route where Khabib, early on would just beat guys on the ground, out grapple them, outwork them, ground and pound them, just win the fight convincingly, like by being just dominant overall. Then evolved in being able to literally knock people out, and then being able to do both. That's sort of what Usman's getting to that level now.
Yeah.
Like he is at that level where he can knock you out. He can fight with you up on your feet. But you better watch out because if you ain't ready, he will take you down. And once he's on top of you, good luck getting up from that. Because
Correct.
he's just an absolute monster once he gets you to the ground. So, look, I'm excited. I'm excited for this fight. But I'm telling you right now, unfortunately, even though I love Masvidal, he's a gangster. He's got nothing on Usman. Usman's going to beat him again. And Usman beat him convincingly last time. So Masvidal,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what he's going to do different this time. He couldn't go with him last time. And not for anything, Usman could take a punch. He's got a strong neck. I've seen him take some big hits and, like, yeah, he gets frazzled, but he's able to compose himself and
Go
go
again.
again. So he's just a different animal. I mean, what's he, 13 fights in a row? I did mention,
Yeah.
I had a look. I believe it's his Tops Museum is his card that you should be going for. I think I stand to be corrected. Someone did tell me and I completely forgot to write it down, so I don't know exactly. But there's a rookie card, Kamaru Usman. It's not that expensive. I think it's only like maybe 200 or $300 US, which in the scheme of things, because he's only got one rookie card, it's cheap. And he's won 13 fights in a row. I mean, if he starts getting to the point where he's winning 15 in a row, and he gets to the point where he's 20 in a row, I know how many times he's defended his title. I think it's like 6 or 7, I think 7 title defenses. If he gets to like 10, 15 title defenses, that's like GOAT status. Like, that's like
100%.
George St. Pierre defended his title like 13 times. Yeah? Like, that's getting to that level. So,
100%. I completely agree
I
with you.
mean, I was looking at that card. I need to look it back up again. So anyone out there, I mean, I can't remember what it is, but I'll go back and find it, and then maybe I might share that one on the socials. Maybe after I buy one. But if you're happen to listen to this and one of the, essentially the 70 listeners that we get per week, I mean, good luck to you because I genuinely think that's a card that, you're able to pick him up, Usman, and he's able to go on and have 10 plus title defenses. I mean, he writes him down in the
100%.
he writes himself down in the UFC history books as one of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right. Let's move on. Next up, Lamont of the Week, Sauce. Now, you made me aware of this last night, and I apologize. If you're on Clubhouse and you have the app, we do a pre-pod show. So Saucy and I get together and we discuss a few things we want to go through on the podcast. And first and foremost, I want to apologize to Splash Culture. First and foremost. Because he jumped in at the very moment that we worked out what this week's Lamont of the Week was going to be. And I was in there just cussing and losing my absolute marbles. Now, I'm going to set the scene before Sauce is going to explode again. But the fact that this guy is one of my golden children in the NBA, and Sauce loves him. He's our boy as well. But I'm not going to tag this guy, Sauce, because it's not worth. Actually, we probably should so he can fucking see it. Justin Kutcher, the Washington Wizards broadcaster, could be one of the biggest peanuts in the sport. I think, I'm just going to quote it. I think Ben Simmons is one of, if not, the most overrated players in the NBA. He's gotten so much love and attention that people aren't paying attention to what Tobias Harris is actually doing on the floor. That part, I can understand. Yeah? But the fact of the matter is, Ben Simmons is a better player than Tobias Harris. When Tobias Harris was struggling before Doc Rivers came along, who was dominating in that team? Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. They were the two guys. I'm just going to put this out there. I'm literally going to put my foot down, mate. I'm stamping the authority right here and right now. Before you take your take and lose your shit too. But this is directed straight down the line to the NBA media in different states across America that are so biased to their team, which are in their state, and I completely agree. But some of the comments that you make like this are an absolute disgrace to your sport, to your network, and to yourself as a broadcaster. The only reason everybody thinks that Ben Simmons is the most overrated player in the NBA is because people like you, the media, keep talking about his jump shot and labeling this guy as the most overrated player in the NBA. Four weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, Ben Simmons can't shoot. Blah, blah, blah. He's got no jump shot. Giving it to his life, yeah? And all of a sudden now, it's working with Embiid. He can shoot 40 and without taking a jump shot. He's the second best defender in the NBA. So now you love him because he's playing well. I like Ben Simmons' response. It was very good. And he just said, look, another casual. I love it. Just shut you down. What he's trying to say to you, Justin Kutcher, you might listen to this podcast and be like, you're nobodies. No, you're the nobody. You're on Washington Wizards broadcast, bro. Like, come on. Come on.
I believe the last time the Washington Wizards were relevant was 1971, Doma.
And that's when they were the Bullets. They weren't even the Wizards.
1971. So it's the last time that the Washington, the city of Washington and basketball were relevant.
Generals.
Right? So for him to go out and make these outrageous comments.
I know what he was doing. He's trying to get clout. And the fact that Ben Simmons, they were called the Baltimore Bullets.
There we go.
In 1971. They weren't even anything.
They had nothing to do with Washington.
They weren't even. So, you haven't been relevant, full stop. That's it. Zero. Nothing. At least Ben Simmons can say he made it to an Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh, man. It's like some of these guys, the money they get paid and the comments that they make, honestly.
Yeah, sometimes they're just feeling gap in the air. I'm sorry, that's harsh, but that's fucking reality. Some of the shit people say is ridiculous. I know they'll probably go and listen to my take and say, you said that Lakers would sweep Brooklyn and they beat them 4-1. That's okay. You can say I'm an idiot. And as I said, I gave you the perfect argument last week when I said, well, Miami almost swept Milwaukee. They beat them 4-1. Did you think that was going to happen? No. Well, there's my point. Like, I've got substantial evidence when you take the game to the team, anything can happen. But besides the point, I digress, as they say. Sauce, what's your take on this? Because you're the one that's going to drop the Le Mans at the end.
Look,
Mate,
I don't... How... You summed it up perfectly. Who is building up... Who's overrating him? The media. Right? The media has put this mantra on him, put this stigma on him, on Ben Simmons, about, whether people were trying to compare him to LeBron in his early parts of his career, and whatever, right? But to say he's one of the most overrated players when he is the best defender in the whole league, statistically.
He's clearly rated. He's actually rated very properly rated.
And when, not for anything, when Joel Embiid was out a game, he put up 40 without shooting one 3-point shot. Right? How can you be overrated when you're putting up 40 points without shooting one 3-pointer?
My brain's going
I would say He's properly rated. He's a very,
Pretty
very good
good.
basketball player. An above average basketball player. He's a top 5 defender in the whole league. He is an elite passer. He's an
He's
elite.
all defensive first team at the moment. All defensive first team.
So to say he is overrated is beyond a joke. There's more to basketball than just being able to put the ball in the basket on the offensive side of the ball. Go ask James Harden. He's very good at that side. He's not very good at anything else in terms of defense. And, where's that really got him? Nowhere. So, look, for that, Justin Kutcher, you, sir, are, disclaimer, there is a lemon coming, so anyone turn down your speakers. Justin Kutcher, you are a lemon! You are a lemon, man. Straight out. Look, I'll tell you what, when I watch NBA Game Pass and it's a Washington Wizards game and I've got the option to actually select Washington Wizards broadcast, I will be making sure I do not select that broadcast.
Yeah, I'll be watching it in Espanol. That's what I'll be doing.
You're better off not understanding the commentators than listening to that lemon, let me tell you.
100%. I'll tell you what, just while we end this segment, some of the crop that we've got going into the mid-year Le Mans of the year's nominees, because I think we've got to have to shortlist them, Sauce. We've got to cut them down because we're going to have like 50 Le Mans by the end of the year. So I reckon we're going to probably cull them mid-year, and then those people will be finalists for the end of the year. That's what we're going to do.
I've got, mate. I tell you what. He's got to be up there with a leader. He's got to be right up there.
Oh, the reason why I want to do the mid-year cull also. Oh, I was going to say you. The reason why I want to do the mid-year cull is so then Ronaldo isn't a finalist. That's why. I'm not stupid. Like, come on, mate.
Yeah, but I'm all over it, mate. I'm all over it. All right, then rolling on. Let's move on.
Rolling on. Here we go into hobby talk. This is what a lot of people love listening to each week, and we're going to start with just a banger, an absolute banger, because this is going to tie into exactly the main point. So we're going to talk about greed from manufacturers and grading companies. Cage lawyer from Luca Tigers Bronze also recently said that it's like the house is always winning now. There's never an opportunity. Before, it used to be like, we say like a 60-40 split. Yeah? You used to pull good stuff, you get your value for money. Now it's like the house always wins. You're not even playing with house money anymore. Like the house is just playing with your money. And to perfectly sum this up, we're going to bring a nice exhibit into this show, a special guest. And the special guest is Panini Prism 2021 is our special guest, talking about greed, pure greed in the hobby.
Yeah.
This is where and I'll give props to some people on the secondary market, and props will go to Grayson and Cherry Collectibles. Like, when you have to force a hobby store to resort to selling their packs for $100 to try and help their clients get value for a product, that's a fucking disgrace. That's a disgrace. The pressure on these guys, because, just an inside word, Panini were going to sell them for, I reckon, $400 USD. The reason I say that, we're all over it when it comes to this stuff. I think originally on Cherry's website, they had it up for $650, $700. So what that tells me, I haven't had anyone tell me this, and it's confidential stuff I wouldn't be sharing on this podcast anyway. But what this tells me is Grayson's clearly been in contact with a rep. He's the biggest store in this country, so you'd think so. He's got, and obviously we shared that stuff that he did with Prism, and he said it's a big thank you to Panini as well. So that tells me also that he must have someone that he's very close with there, which is fair enough. That's why he gets stock and he sells it at good prices. But the fact that he was listing it for like, I think it was 650 or 700 on a pre-order and have to pull that down and change the pre-order prices tells me that what I've been telling and what Source has been telling everyone from the beginning, everybody in this market has the power over any company, any grading company, any card manufacturing company that you can think of. The only reason it got to that price is it got on the secondary market, and people like Source and I, you, the listener at home, you, the viewer at home, watching us right now, I'm looking down like I'm talking to you directly. It's people like that, us, might not be us directly, but people like us, people in the hobby that are doing this. And then they're the first people to come out and complain, oh, it's too much money. The greed,
And
the money, it just kills it.
and
Like,
we'll bring it back, and people will blame the breakers. But who goes and fills those breaks?
you,
Us, the hobbyists.
us, you, the people doing it.
Right? So, the prices have gone up. What's going to happen? The breakers are still going to buy this product. The breakers are still going to break this product. They're going to break it down, make it an affordable way for people to enter into the product. And idiots out there are going to buy into these breaks.
Thinking they're going to get something. I'll be honest, somebody sent me something today, yeah, Source. They sent me something. It was a break. Someone's doing a break. I understand breakers are doing stuff, and that's fine. And that's because the product is what the product is at that price. And I get that, yeah? So that's why they have prices at a certain level. Anyway, somebody sent me something, and they said, oh, it's going to cost me this much to go into this break. Now, I've been talking to this person a bit, and I said to him, oh, you went in this break recently. And the person's like, yeah. I said, what did you get? They go, I got fuck all. And I opened a lot of boxes, yeah? It was in like a multi-box break. They go, I got fuck all. I go, how much did you spend? Over $80. Okay. So I said, you lost all your money. Yeah, pretty much. Probably make $10. I go, so you're going to go spend another $82 on 5 boxes, 5 different products. So they're not from the same, you don't know what case they're from. You don't know, because people don't do this research. They don't ask the question of like, oh, has the case been ripped already? Is it the last box in the case? Is the hit from that case already been pulled? Like, this is, like, when we say research on this show, this is the type of shit that you have to fucking go into when you go into breaks. This is the depth that we go into. Now you're starting to understand where we're coming from.
Anyone who's ever said, oh, this is the reason why I only ever go in, try getting half case breaks or case breaks.
Yeah, correct. All right. Now you're starting to understand the mentality, like the algorithms that run through Source and I's head, and a lot of people that we're friends with in this hobby, listeners of this podcast, great people that have been telling you as our content creators. This is the process. So you don't know where these boxes are from. You don't know if the case hits have come out. All right. You got to know the print runs first of all. I looked at the products in there. I went, there's no value in these products anymore. All right. First of all, so if I have to go sell the card, am I going to sell it raw for what I got to do? And let's put it this way: a lot of it's base cards now and base rookies and whatnot. You can't afford to go grade the cards anymore, so you're not going to get your money back on that. So you got to literally look at the value of a break that's at this number. I'm not going to tell you what the number is. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to give you the number. But what I'm trying to say is, you got to sell these cards raw. Are you going to sell them for what you want raw? Probably not. And it's a random team out of these 5 boxes. So you could get a shit team. I know breaks are a gamble regardless, but if you paid for a certain team, there's a bit more confidence there because you're like, okay, I locked in this team.
Locked in that player.
Pelican, yeah, that player. It's like, exactly, I bought Pelicans. All right, I got Zion now. So they're all mine, no matter what comes out. And I said to the person, when you rip it, the one thing among all else, yeah, if it's the most minimal research you've done, are you going to break even or make your money back? And the person said, yeah, it looks like I'm probably not. I said, then you don't go touch it. It's as simple as that. That person wants to buy and flip. Yeah. And I said, do you want stuff for your PC? Yeah. Who do you like? I like these people. Look at the print runs, the checklists. Oh, there's no cards that I reckon that I like in there. That's another thing. Why waste your money? Just because a breaker's got 5 boxes of these things to entice you, for example, you see like a clearly Donruss in there, and you G up and go, oh, clearly Donruss, I haven't seen that on the market for ages. The cards in that will be worth a shit ton. Go do your research. Zion's worth nothing now. Somehow LaMelo Ball's worth a lot more than Zion, which is fucking mind-boggling. Absolutely mind-boggling. It's just stupidity. Like, I don't get it. Anyway, like, this is the type of stuff you need to go into, and they break it down, and it's priced according to the breaker. You got to think about it. The breaker's getting this product on the secondary market. So the breakdown for the breaker is on the secondary market price. That's inflated because then they need to make a profit. No one out there is selling a break or selling a product at a loss. Once it gets to like secondary market stuff, like Cherry might sell their first case at a loss, but they're the cheapest product, yeah, first drop in the world. But then from then on, it's a profit. That's just how you do it. You mitigate it, your costs, and it's too much of business talk. But just do your research. This is the type of stuff you got to look at: print runs, checklists, cases. What cases are from? Is the case break? Is the case come out of the case? You got to do all this stuff. How long's it been sitting there? If the person says, "Oh, the product's been sitting here for 5 months," that means the hit of the case has come out. So it's just a filler box thrown in there just to make up the numbers.
Fill up the break.
So you're gonna get fucked.
And so this is where I bring it back to. It's us here as the hobbyists not being smarter and just buying blindly into these breaks. And you know, now we are the people to blame for the box prices being so high.
Yeah,
right?
Stop blaming everyone else.
Don't blame Panini, because Panini obviously wants to eat as much as they can eat. Like, they're in a bull run here. They're in a bull run.
Yeah, but in saying that, Panini probably raised their price $150 from last year. Yeah, or what was it? Yeah, $150.
No, Panini sold their boxes for $2K straight from their website, man, and that's why the box price ended up getting to that. Yeah, because they sold them directly for $2K from their website, but not for anything, right? Like, you got to understand, if they turn around and sell them for $500 from their website, they'll be on the secondary market straight away at $1,200, right?
That's exactly right. Regardless,
and people are buying up these boxes even though the value's not there. I mean, just think about it, you know. And I'll just bring it back, right? So I'm just gonna say, right? So I've just had a look at some of my players, right? Some of my favorite players. I mean, you've got here are cards that have had a crazy run up. So like, I can go buy, instead of spending $2,000 on a Prism hobby box, I can go buy a Kobe Bryant Lucky 13 Fleer BGS 9.5 graded rookie for $1,100. So you can nearly buy two of those rookies, even though that card's had a mad run up, and there's been a mad run up on there. You can buy two of those Kobe's, and there is not one player in that Prism box that is going to be better than Kobe Bryant in 20 years. I can tell you that, guarantee that, and I'll put my life on it. Right? So I'd rather have the Kobe rookie, let's just say that. Second one, you know this card, Doma. LeBron James. I've spoken about. I gave it as a Sauceys Smokey.
It's flying up at the moment.
Upper Deck rookie exclusive. Right? With a BGS 9.5 pop report of 1,236 as a BGS 9.5. Last sold, 900. I can go buy two of these, even though it's gone up crazy in the last 3 months. It's literally
ridiculous.
It's literally in the last 3 months, it's gone up 125%. You can still go buy two of those for the same price as a Prism hobby box.
Mate, and you can do yourself one better source. You can go buy LeBron and one Kobe for the price of a Prism
There you
box.
go. And I can guarantee on my life that every player in that Prism box, every rookie in that Prism box is not even gonna. They're not even gonna get to LeBron James's dick. Literally, he's not even gonna get that high. They'll be lucky to get to his knee. They'll be lucky to get to his knee of the greatness. They'll be lucky to get to his knee. If they got to his dick, they would be somewhat mentionable.
Oh, you lost your shit. You know what I would have said? It's more realistic. His toenail, because they're getting nowhere near his toenail, mate. His big toe.
Oh man, like look, just put it into perspective. Like, I mean, do you want to throw me another player out there, Donna? Throw me something? I'll even say another one. Like you can.
Do you want me, I can rattle them off. Do you want me to rattle them off? Shaq, Duncan, LeBron, Kobe. You can even probably get a Jordan out there for 2K that's of better value. Like you can even get a raw one, not even graded. Something really good. Who else we got there? You can go buy. I'll be honest with you. You can go buy 3 Charles Barkley downtown cards, which I reckon are better than that freaking box. Who else is there? Steph Curry. I'd go buy him. Kevin Durant, probably better than all those rookies as well. Do you want me to keep going?
I mean, you could go buy PSA 10 Shaquille O'Neal Topps paper. Even after its run up. I mean, it was 400 before the run up. It got as high as 1900, just under 2K, and now it is back down to $880. What the hell would you rather be holding in 20 years when Shaquille O'Neal is one of the top 10 players to ever walk the planet, top 15 player? Or would you have rather spent 2K on this Prism hobby box that is most likely not going to have one player to the caliber of Shaquille O'Neal, or Kobe, or LeBron?
And this is the whole thing of this discussion. It is greed. It's becoming greed. And I said it a couple of weeks ago, and I think it was a bit facetious for me to say it, a bit stupid on my behalf. And I take full responsibility. I'm going to retract my statement. As fucked as this sounds, I'm actually going to retract it. I said recently that I think the joy in the hobbies come back. Yeah? I'm taking away. I retract that statement. It was the stupidest thing I've ever said. The joy in the hobbies come back for flippers. Everyone else is sitting there going, how the fuck can I afford product anymore?
I mean, there are people out there that enjoy ripping product. They enjoy buying a box and ripping it. But at these prices, it's not enjoyable, Doma. It's not enjoyable. Unless the only way to feasibly rip product right now, you can't rip hobby boxes really, because it's just, you just don't get your value back. I mean, definitely not Prism hobby boxes. Maybe you should be looking to another set. Maybe a Revolution. I know Revolution hobby boxes are going for around about 500. Maybe that's more something that's plausible.
And this is where, like, I'm going to mention this, and I know our fantastic North American fans that listen to our show, you might lose a bit of interest in this, but it's a good thing to actually take this example, take this example and run with it a bit. I understand we're an exclusive to this sport in our country, but this is why I love Team Coach and I love AFL Footy Stars, because a kid can still go into a news agency or a petrol station, wherever, man, and they can buy a $3 packet of cards, or you can go onto Select's website or anywhere, man. All these distributors, because they can't inflate the price of that product, it's at $105 or they sell it cheaper. As simple as that. And they can go and they can open 36 packets, man. And as we've seen out of the product,
there's a very good chance you make your money back.
Yeah, but if you want to sell it, you're going to make $100 or $50 on every box that you open. As simple as that.
And, hey, you get lucky, you pull a marquee card, you pull a Brownlow predictor of a good player, and you can make your money back. I mean, it's a fun product to rip. It's just at this kind of point, there's really, I mean, yeah, there's no real product to rip, man. Look, last year in 7-Eleven, they had gravity feed hoops, gravity feeds. I haven't seen nothing this year. No gravity feeds.
Mate, there's people lining up at the truck when they open the back door, mate, just saying, "Oh, here's fucking $100. I'll take the box."
All right, here's another card. You'll like this one, Doma. I'm gonna instead of buying a 2K Prism box, I'm gonna go buy a 2018 Panini Tom Brady Kaboom for $1,800.
I like that. Mate, I'm going to say something even ridiculous again. You could even go out of your way and say that you go spend that 2,000 USD on a Luka. Because Luka's going to be better than all the rookies in this product.
Although I don't want to, I don't want to say that, but your money probably is better off spending a Luka. It's better.
I can't believe I'm saying that. We've been telling people not to go there, but it's true.
I mean, you just please, I just implore people, just weigh up the options you have if you were going to spend that money. And I'm not even saying, and we're not even just, I'm just saying 2K the box overall, but even the money for breaks, $100 spending on that break. How many boxes do you think, if the price of the box is $2,000, and it's $100 a break, how many boxes do you think you're getting? You're going to be in a one box break. The chance you even make that $100 back off a one box break is no chance. A very, very minimal chance. You are honestly better, instead of gambling it there, if you really want to gamble, go to the freaking casino and put it on red and black. You got more chance of winning money and making money. I'm telling you, Dom. It doesn't make sense, especially now that it costs $40 from here, from Australia, and $20 in the US, and that's before you ship it and insure it to and from PSA. $40 here in Australia with the shipping and insurance, 40 AUD, and 20 USD, which is the base one, the one that takes 12 months, essentially, to grade to PSA, and 38 USD to BGS, and obviously you got 30 USD to, you got 20 USD to HGA, and 30 USD. Is the value really going to be there? Even when you grade all those base cards? I don't know. I think, people just be smarter. I think this, just be smarter, man. And as Dom has said, do your research. If you have a question, if you see a break, if you, there's something about the value or something or whatever, and you are unsure, and you're maybe new to this hobby, you've not been doing this long, and you want to get involved, and you're listening to us right now, ask us, send us a DM. We'll try help you. We'll try give you an answer, try give you some guidance, because there's nothing more than I hate than someone new that comes to the hobby, and they go into these breaks, and they're left with a bad taste in their mouth, and it ruins the hobby before they can even get into it. You know what I mean? And it was the advice that I gave a family friend that came to me, and I told him all the situation, how it goes, and he goes, and he wasn't involved in getting breaks, but I just told him, I was like, look, these are all the ways that people get involved in the hobby. In my opinion, breaks are overrated. I go in some, but the value's got to be there. But he went the proper route. He was like, you know what? I like this guy. I ain't fucking around. I'm going to buy 2 really good cards of this guy, and it was Justin Herbert. And he didn't mess around. He went and bought, the number 1 investor piece for all the investors, a Prism PSA 10 Silver, Justin Herbert. And he went and bought a Prism base PSA 10, Justin Herbert. Right? And that was to start him off. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to start with those. And these are going in my collection, and they're staying there. Because I believe in Justin Herbert for the future. And that's how you do it. And that Justin Herbert, not for anything, you can go buy PSA 10 Justin Herbert Prism base card for $1,000 US. So you can get 2 of those for the price of that box. Right? And you're guaranteed to get that guy. In that box, you're not guaranteed to get a LaMelo or an Anthony Edwards.
It's true.
So, just
I don't know.
Think about it. Don't be a sheep. That's all I say. Don't be a sheep and keep following what everyone else does, which is going to these breaks blindly when the value isn't there. And that's the big word, is value, man. The value's got to be there for you to put your money behind it. Or else you're better off taking that $100, $150, $200 you might be spending on the break and buying a single or buying a multiple of singles.
You're better off bloody just as stupid as it sounds sometimes. If you're going into it blindly, you might as well get your money and flush it down your toilet. I'm serious. It's a harsh reality. You might as well just go flush it down the toilet.
Or DM me. I'll let you know what my PayPal is, and so you can send it my way. I'll happily take it.
All right, Saucy. Let's move on. We had our little rant there. We mentioned Team Coach, of course, and Footy Stars. Well, Team Coach, we haven't got our hands on it yet. If we see some packs over the weekend at Malvern,
yep. I think there should be some there.
We'll get into.
We might even do a little cheeky live rip on the IG if we find some packs for sure.
100%. We'll talk Malvern at the end of this segment before we get into Sauceys Smokey. But a few things before we get to another question. We're going to jump in to, this is going to be a feature every week now on this podcast, the Panini blockchain update.
Oh,
right?
Doma.
So I've got it up here.
Oh, wait, hang on, wait. Let me get it. You can start speaking about it. I'm going to get it up for the punters because I've actually organised the mini overlay here, so I'll be onto it real quick.
All right. So new crop have come through. If you listen to Crunch Time, we actually spoke about it. Shout out to Rick, who made us aware of this on Clubhouse. You're a legend. We try to get you in the group last night, but next time I have the opportunity, or Source has the opportunity to talk to you, we're going to thank you. You're a legend, man.
We'll get him on the pod at some point. Honestly, he's got some great stories to tell. He's been collecting for a very, very long time, so I think he will be a great get to jump on the podcast.
One of the many that we've made friends with through Clubhouse, and yeah, it was awesome that he gave us this piece of content. And like we say, we're not going to just say, oh, I came up with this. He came up with this.
He put us onto it because we weren't aware of it.
He might have heard it from someone, but because of him, we've spoken about it on 2 podcasts now. Crunch Time and this. Yeah? All right? Rick hasn't, I don't know, I haven't asked him, but I don't think he's got a podcast to go put this out on a platform like that, yeah? So we thank him for that. But the last one that we spoke about during Crunch Time was the Real Madrid Cristiano Ronaldo gold vinyl 101 gold.
I still need to find out how you find out how much they sold for.
Yeah.
Surely there has to be a way, because it's a blockchain card as well. So surely that it verifies that on the blockchain, so you can find these. So I need to find out how we find out I want to know what that sold for.
I agree. Now there's a few cards. Obviously, it's been redone now. There was going live, and now these cards are live. So it's a new crop of cards on here, and we'll go through them. We'll let you know what's on here. We've got a 2021 Panini blockchain. These are all Prism, yeah, when I talk about them. La Liga Auto from Koke, 101 gold vinyl. It's obviously counting down. There's 2 days, 10 hours, 11 minutes as we're currently talking. Yeah, by the time you listen to this podcast, there'll probably be far less than 10 hours left and 2 days. These are the nice ones. The notable ones are the ones we're going to read out. But a 2021 Panini blockchain Prism La Liga Legends autograph Raul 101 gold vinyl. That's at current price $14,244.90 USD. Steal. Absolute
Anyone watching
steal.
on YouTube, you can see these, and if you aren't, go check out our YouTube version of this podcast, and we have actually got this up, and you'll be able to see the Panini America.
John Moncayo, no. Now, I like this Frankie de Jong, yeah, that was on here. But then I realized, I got G'd up because I saw Frankie de Jong, and I'm like, that's good value, that's really good value. And then I realized there's no auto on this card.
Yeah, but, that doesn't mean, it doesn't, but, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, he's still a good player, and it's a 1-of-1. So, I mean, if he does end up being, filling up to that potential and being a star at Barcelona, I mean, having a 1-of-1 of him in his Barcelona kit, I mean, I know it's not a rookie. It doesn't state that it's a rookie, but, I mean, it's still a 1-of-1, let's be honest. So.
And then, of course, my favourite soccer card is obviously the La Liga Legends autograph of Fabio Cannavaro, 101 gold vinyl.
We'll just skip over those few that are in between there. There's probably not really.
Yeah, there's nothing else there. There's always some big hits. Then we'll move on to NFL here now. There is a 2020. So this is a rookie card. A Joe Burrow rookie card. National Treasures blockchain Joe Burrow 101 NFL Shield Auto.
It looks sick.
It's at $56,979.
For the record, that started at $80,000 on Ducks auction. So
was it 80 or 100?
I can tell you right now. I'll click into it.
Okay.
It did start at 100, I believe.
There you go. All these cards that Saucy and I are reading out at the moment are all blockchain, with also the physical card getting delivered to your doorstep.
So for anyone watching, I'll just click on this little. There's like a little gift thing in the top right-hand corner. You'll see my cursor, my mouse is over it. You click on the gift, and it says here, the buyer here, when you click into it, the buyer of this blockchain trading card will also receive a physical version. So you get a actual physical card, National Treasures, Joey Burrow, 1-of-1 NFL Shield Auto. You get the blockchain version, that's a digital NFT, and then you also get the physical one.
The physical.
So just think about that. You're essentially getting 2 assets for the price of 1.
Even if you just get both of them and you sell the blockchain for the value of the card, of what you paid in the Dutch auction and make your money back, and then you can just go grade the other one, send it to Ken Golden, and make freaking $250,000. There you go. I just gave you your answer to all life's problems, ladies and gents. But you got to be willing to outlay the money. There's a Jacob Eason on here, 101 NFL Shield. DeAndre Swift, same. Now here's a nice one. 2020 Panini National Treasures blockchain. RJ Barrett, 101
Logo man.
NBA logo man. Auto, very nice. This one I personally like. It's a Jimmy Butler 101 NBA logo man.
I think that's gonna get. I don't think that's gonna go to for very much, Doma. I reckon this will get below. I reckon this won't get. I think it gets below 5, maybe 3. I think it's going to go right down. I just don't.
I might drop my money on it.
I just don't see people paying that much when it's not a
what about this bad boy here? The Panini National Treasures blockchain LaMelo Ball 101 collegiate patch auto. There's also a Devin Vassell in there, and then the last 3 are baseball. There is a beautiful baseball patch of Aaron Judge 101. It's got dirt on the patch.
It's got dirt on the patch. So this is definitely being used in a game. Like that is unreal.
And there's an auto on that too. There's Gavin Lux on here as well, and a Drew Waters. So that's the update on the Panini blockchain. Some nice cards on there. Now, question from Splash came to us also in this pre-pod that we're going to read out, and he asked, he wanted Sauce to go into this. Sauce gave the LeBron Wade Bosch Topps Matrix card as an alternate to LeBron Wade and Bosch's rookie card. It was them all together. But he wanted to know alternate investments for cards. Sauce. And Sauce has been a big believer in this, and that's pretty much what Sauceys Smokey is. It's an alternate to the trend.
Yeah.
Sauce is just bucking the trend to find a better option for you to invest in. Sometimes he gives you the mainstream thing. He does. Because he sees good value in that. But most of the time, it's just bucking the trend, looking in the opposite direction. Everyone's
and mind you,
right.
this is, we call ourselves a sports trading card and sports trading card podcast. So, I mean, I could give you some obscure things that I've bought. Doma, I've bought some DC stuff. I've bought what else in the rabbit hole I was going down the other day? Some LeBron James debut 2003 figure. So 2003 debut figurine in the box. Don't ask me why. I was just like, it's his rookie figure. Why not buy one? It's only 20 USD. I mean, who knows?
Pokemon, the copious amounts of Pokemon.
What else have I been down? What other rabbit hole? I mean,
Digimon.
Freaking, it just keeps going, mate. It just keeps going. So, always looking for something else. And it just goes back to if you. It's just like educating yourself. It's like no different to when everybody was buying Kevin Durant the first time round. I don't even remember when Gary Vee first made his first post about Kevin Durant, where he's buying and he had the Topps white paper, and it just went bananas. Then it cooled off. He had an opportunity to buy, and now it's gone bananas again because everyone in the Dallas Card Show and everyone across the world, or generally in the hobby, thinks the Nets have the NBA championship sewn up. Which is just not a reality. But that's the perception of people right now. So his cards are getting a crazy run-up. Now, the first time around, when Gary Vee posted about the Topps white paper, KD, I was like, what other KD rookie cards are there? So I just, went on eBay, as you do, and typed in Kevin Durant. He's put his rookie year. I can't remember exactly which year. And wrote RC, and just started going through and just seeing what I could find. I went through. All right. Then I went to Cardboard Connection and just typed in Kevin Durant, rookie cards, and had a look through all the rookie cards that Kevin Durant's got. And I was like, Fleer. I went and looked at the pop report. I'm seeing shit. Like, Fleer compared to that Topps card, there's way less graded. There's way less 10s. There's way less 9.5s on this Fleer stuff. Like, why is no one buying Fleer? Like, is Top's the be all and end all. And at the time, like the Top stuff was run up, and I was able to pick up some graded PSA 10s AD KD, sorry, for like under 100 USD, and a 9.5 Fleer 212 rookie for 90 USD or 85 USD. Now, it's about thinking outside the box. I did the same thing with Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts got mentioned by Gary Vee, talking about his Tops update. Everyone run by the Tops update. I went and found out what other potential Mookie Betts rookie cards there are. I wasn't really informed. I actually was like, found other rookie cards, spoke to someone else who lives in America, who's a friend of mine in the hobby, and asked him about the different sets, what this means. And I found that the Bowman First Prospects actually set comes prior to the Topps update set. So it's before. But people don't perceive it as much. But technically it is still a rookie card. It's his prospect card. So I went there and I started buying PSA 9s of this prospect card. It's like a paper card. I mean, at the time they were $30 or something like that. They're now selling for $100. So there's opportunity wherever you want to divert from the main, from the herd, as I say. And it's about researching and doing the research into that player, into a different set. So in terms of that Topps Matrix set, I happened to be put onto it by someone. I scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through stories. This is why I like seeing what people post, because like it gives me ideas. And I seen it posted. I'm like, oh, this looks like an interesting card. Let me, I didn't just be like, oh, that looks like an interesting card. Let me go buy one. I said, that looks like an interesting card. It's got LeBron. It's got Wade. It's got Bosch. What's the set? Topps Matrix. Okay. What's the pop report? What other cards are in the set? How much is this going for? What other comparable cards are there like this on the market? And that's where I came up with the comparison to the Irving Magic and Bird card. And was like, I think this card's severely undervalued, especially with how many are graded. With the tough nature of the card being, hard to grade. And the perforated, borders that people ripped apart. And you see a few graded that are just the LeBron on the card. I find that interesting. But, it's obviously going to gain more value with all three together. So, it's just about, look, I get ideas from scrolling through eBay. I get ideas scrolling through Instagram. I get ideas scrolling through Facebook. I mean, I had another ingenious idea, which, I told you about the other day, Doma, but I'm not going to reveal it on the pod because I'm going to have to hold this one under wraps for a little bit longer. And maybe I might throw a bone out there in a future pod. But, how did I come up with this idea? Just being observant. Spending time to read stuff instead of just scrolling, reading. Or, someone put a post on Facebook in a Facebook group, and it was like a big slab of words. But instead of just scrolling past it because it wasn't like it wasn't short text, I skimmed through it and I started reading, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. Oh, okay, let me do a research. Bit of Google, bit of this, bit of that. Figured out, oh shit, there's an opportunity here. So it's just about being observant. And then once you observe and something catches your eye, then putting in the research to find out whether you genuinely think that it's going to bring you value, or bring value to your collection, bring value to you with the potential to flip, so you can gain a monetary addition, and have more money to then buy cards that you do want. So every opportunity, buying cards is not just about going out and buying that card that I want for my PC. Buying cards for me is buying the cards that I see are, as everyone likes to call, undervalued, or potentially people aren't...
Room for growth.
Yeah, room for growth. And then getting onto that before the majority of people get onto it, and then having that at the right time so that when people do get onto it, you are there and you've been on it already well before, and you're there to just sell it to those people. So that's where it's like looking into the alternate rookies is such a thing, and don't just get stuck on like the main ones. It's just like why the hell am I buying Zion marquee rookies? I buy it because I like the card. First of all, I buy it. Second of all, because I like Zion, and for $10, where I'm picking them up for $10, I think it's a low risk to high reward play. I did the same thing with Luka Doncic. I was picking them up for $15 to $20. Now someone go look up how much Luka Doncic marquee cards are. I mean, I'll go look it up myself right now, and I'll tell you. You know, while everyone was buying the optics, while everyone was buying the Lucas Selects, while everyone was paying overs for the prisms, I went and bought Luka Doncic marquee rookies. And not for anything, they are now literally for 20. I didn't pay more than $25 for one. That's AUD. And they are now selling raw, last sold, 90, 99, 60, 75. So I only paid 25. That's US. I didn't pay $25, more than $25 for one of them. So it's about finding opportunity where everyone else is flocking to something. Maybe the room for growth is just as good on something else, but just because it's not as sexy, because it's not a $100 to $500 play, but it's a $25 to $100 play. Hey, it's still 4 extra money. So you buy 10 of those Luka rookies, you've got over $1,000.
It's true.
So, like, I mean, just think about it like that. So, and I did the same thing with Kevin Durant, did the same thing with Mookie Betts. I'm actually got to sell some of Mookie Betts because the market's gone nuts on it. I mean, here's another one for reference. As I said, I'll look up the price of it right now. I looked it up the other day. And then we'll move on to Sauceys Smokey after this. Doma. So I was just buying PSA 9s, Mookie Betts, Bowman, not the Bowman Chrome, just the Bowman paper, not the Chrome variant. I was just buying the cheapest one on the market, and that's just because it was a low risk, high reward play. Mookie Betts won an MVP. Mookie Betts won a world title. Mookie Betts also won another world title. And I bought these at the start of last season. I'm still holding them. I sold one. I had 3 of them. I sold one, and I made back nearly all the money that I paid for all 3.
That's crazy.
So now I'm essentially sitting on 2 other Mookie Betts rookie cards for not really much, and graded too. Here we go. The Bowman Chrome's going for $150. They're all going for $50. Here we go. Bowman first. Oh, I'll tell you what. This is just telling me right now. I'm going to have to list this straight on eBay after we get off this podcast. Last sold $125. I bought them for $30. And I had an opportunity to buy 10 of them. There was a guy who had a lot of 12 and I only bought 3.
Jesus.
So just look. It's just being aware. And not to say that I haven't been burnt on some investments. Like, I have been burnt. I mean, one that I have been burnt, and I mentioned it to you in a group chat, Doma, was the LeBron first year optic card. I got burnt severely. And now I learnt from that mistake, and I've learnt. You know, someone mentioned to me about Ronaldo's first Juventus card. And I said to him, I wouldn't be going down that road because, let's be honest, if LeBron's first Lakers card wasn't a thing, what makes you think that Ronaldo's first Juventus card is going to be a thing? If LeBron, the biggest, most well-known basketball player in the world, going to the biggest franchise in the world, his first Lakers card not being a thing, and that optic, you know, base card, the PSA 9s at one point were $300, the base card, and now they're $40, Doma, $30. I mean, I bought 2 at $100 thinking I got a deal. 100 USD each. Now they're $30 card, man. I sold one for $60 US. I literally lost 70 Australian dollars on it. I sold it. I just got out of it. I kept one. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to keep it for my PC. stuff it. Like LeBron card, stuff it. I'll wear it. But, you can get burnt. And that's where it's like, that there I wouldn't be thinking as an, like, that's not a rookie. So alternate rookies, as Splash is saying, it's always much safer. Alternate rookies is definitely a great idea, and I just bring it back to, like, do your research, understanding the pop reports, and if there's a short print on the pop, even better, dude, even better. Like, then you've found a gem. Then you DM me and let me know what that card is, Dennis from Splash Culture, and me and you, we're getting rich. So.
All right, beauty. Just before we do get to Sauceys Smokey and finish up the podcast, Malvern Card Show this Sunday for Australian listeners. We've had a few people reach out and say they're going to be there, and we are super excited that we're going to be able to meet you in person. Saucy is getting himself geared up and ready. We are going to probably vlog. We're going to walk around and probably interview people that are there. There's going to be a few big guys in the Australian collecting space there, store owners there as well that we can interview and talk about and ask them during COVID and since we've come out of lockdowns and stuff and the international market, how their businesses have flourished with the card market. I'd be interested to get an insight into that. So we've got a bit on the cards on Sunday. And also, don't forget, we're going to be handing out our Saucy coverage packs, which is Saucy Collectibles / double coverage packs. We're going to give them to kids if we see kids.
We've got Pokemon, we've got AFL. What else we got?
NFL,
NBA.
And NBA, of course.
We're stacked. So, I don't even know how we're going to carry them, Doma. Those boxes are so heavy.
No, we can't take them all. Bro, we can't take them all. Once we run out, we run out.
We'll have to take. We can only take half. There's a lot.
Fuck, I'm gonna bring a backpack anyway. So.
Well, my backpack's gonna be full of cards, so I can make some deals. I'm gonna be looking to make some deals, get some content for that vlog. I mean, people, please, we're gonna have our double coverage gear on. If you see us down there, if you listen to this podcast, please come up to us and say hello. And if we don't recognize who you are, it might be because we know you by your Instagram handle. So tell us what be like. Introduce yourself. My name is whatever. I'm da on Instagram. And then we'll be like, a light bulb moment will click. And, let's have a chat. Let's, we're excited to meet people. I mean, this is what the hobby's about, man. Like, I mean, I'm so G'd up to go to this card show. I was shattered last year when this was supposed to go ahead, the Malvern Card Show. And I was actually inquiring to get a table there last year. I was going to get a table. I was in the process of getting it. And then it all got shut down. So, I mean, I'm so excited. I mean, decided not to get a table this time. Maybe next time around, maybe next card show that comes up in Melbourne, I might get a table and look to expand on that point. But, excited for it. Once again, I will make note. I will chuck the link to the event, Facebook event, in the description. You can then go click on that link and purchase a ticket. Tickets are $6. So, not for anything. It's not expensive. So, Get down there, say good day, and we'll see how we go. We are going to be down there from the beginning. So, I'm hopefully planning to get down there no later than 9:30, so I can get in there, hopefully get some deals done prior to, majority of the people probably rocking up, because I don't think everyone's going to be as eager beans as us. I mean, they will be eager, but maybe not so eager that, I want to get in there and try to pick off the good stuff before you guys come, and then maybe make some deals with you.
But we're looking forward to meeting you all, and like Saucy said, look out for that double coverage logo and come say hi. All right, Sauceys Smokey to end the show.
All right, Doma. We talked about it's been talked about so many times, and this is from people that have been in the hobby longer than me, and it's also what I've noticed, what I've observed over the last 2 years being in the hobby. Right? The perception of people is that they have the inability to look past 3 to 4 months, right, in the hobby. This is where you can seriously find some opportunity, all right? NFL season.
I can't believe this card, by the way, that you're about to say. It's a freaking joke.
NFL season starts in 7 months. As just said, people got that inability to look past 3 to 4 months. So now is a great time to be looking at NFL guys jumping on your card ladder, jumping on cardladder.com. If you don't got the pro version, what the hell are you doing? Get the damn pro version, because you can go back and have a look at what these prices were selling for 6 months ago at the beginning of last season. You can see the potential run-up that could happen again on the lead-up into this next season, right? You could see that same run-up where you could potentially flip the card for a profit. And now the guy I'm talking about, he's won an MVP. So I don't understand like why people aren't higher on him than they already are. But I'm gonna bring up the mini home overlay. So bring up the card and bring up the player. And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to view this. And on a podcast, the card that I have brought up is the 2018 Select Lamar Jackson, numbered to 70, Concourse Base PSA 10, with a total pop report of 284. So under 300 pop on the PSA 10. Now, if you go back and have a look, back on the 20th of the 9th last year, this card was selling for as high as $470. Last sold, $165. That is a 50% discount. More than a 50% discount. You go have a look here. It is down, real dollar change in the last 6 months, $305. 65%. 65% for an MVP. An MVP. I don't care what you say. He's going to come out next season. They've got a good team. He's a good quarterback.
He's going to dominate again early.
Exactly.
Whether he does anything good, then his price is going to run up through the roof again.
Thank you very much, Doma.
You could buy 10 or 20 of these. You could literally invest $1,200 over the next 7 months and turn that $1,200 into potentially over $5,000.
So it maxed out at about $500. $500 is the max this card's ever been. It dropped down as low as... You could have been... I was onto this late, yeah, Doma.
Is this for the 10?
This is for a 10. So these... After, obviously, he got knocked out and around the start of December, sort of soon after he got knocked out, this was a $130 card at one point. There's a sale here for $105. Few sales for $120, $130. Got bumped up to over $200. Then came down. So this is the yearly chart that I'm showing everybody. This is why you got to get card ladder, because you can go back and see, shit, this card was up around here, and that was like around the start of the NFL season. Previously. Then it going down. Now it's gone right down. It's 165. Now, for the record, I'm going to say to people, I was able to pick one up from a fellow Australian who had one of his shipping my cards account, and I was happy to pay 200 USD. More than happy. Because this card was up over 450. So you're telling me if this gets to 350, Doma, I'm happy to sell it and take 150 profit. I'm not a Lamar Jackson collector. As I said, I look for opportunity to flip cards to then buy more cards that I want to purchase and have in my PC. So, and it's all part of it. If you are ignorant to not buying NFL cards, well, you probably should start looking into it, because there's opportunities. And this is a great opportunity to get in on an MVP caliber player. And it's a quarterback, which quarterbacks run the NFL market. So, I bought one at 200. Last sold here is 165. My sale is not on Card Ladder because it was off. It was a private sale off any platform. I mean, worked out better for the seller, as he didn't have to pay any fees. And yeah, I just don't see why this card doesn't get a run up leading up into the season. He starts hot. We all know what will happen. Sell that damn card. Move it on. And if you're in Australia, I suggest if you buy one in America, bring it to your Ship My Cards account. Do not bring it back to Australia. Keep it in America and sell it directly from your Ship My Cards account, which is what I will be doing. Sell it directly from your Ship My Cards account to list it straight on eBay and put the Ship My Cards address as the from address and sell it directly on the American market, because you'll be able to flip it much, much quicker. Albeit you got to pay eBay fees, but hey, you're able to move the card on. Potential to make minimum 100 USD you'll make on this card, maybe 200 USD. So, just think about that. Sauceys Smokey, another week. Lamar Jackson, 2018 Panini Select Concourse base card. PSA 10.
Bang. Awesome. Another one done and dusted. All right, ladies and gents, it's been a pleasure. Being Dom with the great man Sauce. Keep living, loving, and breathing all sports. It's double coverage, and peace.
Peace out, ladies and gents. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage.